We're all the children of God. We're all created by God. We're created by the thoughts of God. When we think, we create an energy field. When we think thoughts of love, forgiveness, and peace, and all the things we want to bring to the world, we create a certain kind of very positive energy. When we think thoughts of hate, of all these other emotions, of anger, of fear, we create another kind of energy, a very destructive one, which, if it's in big enough quantities, destroys the very life force of creation, which comes from the being some call God. The name I'm given is the Godhead. Now, if we can create by thought, what can the Godhead do? This master spirit at the center of all creation. He can create almost anything he wishes by thought, and he creates us by thought.
Do you claim to be the Son of God? Because Terry Wogan said to you on the Wogan show, you claim to be the Son of God, and you said yes.
Well, I am, yes, I'm saying that. What I'm saying is we're all the children of God. But some people come to earth, Jesus was one, there were many more before him, who are actually part of the soul of the Godhead. It's God incarnate on earth. That's what Jesus was, that's what these other people were before. To try to bring the truth to a planet that has lost that truth in 12,000 years, and as a result of which, we have taken this wondrous planet to the brink of not existence.
Jesus claimed, said, I and the Father are one. That means he was the Son of God. Are you claiming that too? You and the Father are one?
We're all one with the Father.
No,
oh yes, we are. We're all one with the Father. What I'm saying is that if I, as Jesus was, and others were before him, an aspect, part of the soul of the Godhead, then these beings are the Godhead incarnate.
Then we are all sons of God, children of God in that way.
Well,
are you special?
No one's special.
Have you been singled out?
The message that comes across all the time is the Godhead loves all of us as if there was only one of us. No one's special. But there are certain people who come to Earth at certain times, and to other planets too, at times of great crisis to try to help to sort things out. And they are just the Godhead in a physical body. This great transformation of Earth that's already beginning to, it's already underway, is being guided, not by yours truly alone, but by the whole of creation. Because if this planet is destroyed, the whole of creation is thrown into chaos, because planets and stars are not there because the Godhead fancies them. Wouldn't it be pretty? Everything is there, it has a purpose, it has a meaning, it has a reason for existing. And if one of the planets or whatever ceases to exist because of the way we treat it, then the whole of creation is threatened. And my goodness me, I'll tell you this, it is threatened very much at this time. It is a matter of years if we continue to turn out this energy of hate, of anger and fear and all these other emotions that we have made into an art form.
Something inside of me told me this was leading somewhere, and that if I kept going, then that somewhere would emerge. And when you go through the level of ridicule that I did in the early mid-90s, one of two things happens. Either it destroys you and you withdraw from the world, or you let go of the prison that most people live in, which is the fear of what other people think. Most people are not living their lives. They're not living who they are. They're living what they think others think they should be. And therefore, they're living a lie.
Are you optimistic about the future?
I wouldn't keep going. Well, I probably would, actually. I'm a stubborn bugger, but I wouldn't keep going, shall we say, if it was a lost cause. It's not a lost cause. And for reasons I talked about earlier, not only is this avoidable, not only is it changeable, it can be changed in a dramatically short time. Just by changing our our approach from acquiescing to not acquiescing. It's as simple as that. Let me just explain one thing here, Brian, and maybe we'll get into the why acquiescence is so important to address. How can a few people in this cult dictate to the lives of billions like this? Think of a pyramid. The top of the pyramid, you've got the cult. Tiny few people in relation to the population. And this pyramid, which is human society, is hierarchical. So the cult at the top of the pyramid imposes its agenda on the next level, which acquiesces to that imposition, and it itself then imposes on the next level. Now, as you come down this pyramid, you're very few steps down before you reach the point where the hierarchy doesn't even know there's a cult. Only these higher, in around the spider, as I call it, levels know that there's a cult, unless you work your ass off for 30 years to uncover it. And so you then hit a level where they're not aware of where this is coming from, but the same sequence continues. So this level will impose on this level, which acquiesces to the level above and imposes on the level below. And this goes down the pyramid, imposition, acquiescence, imposition, acquiescence, imposition, acquiescence, until at the bottom of the pyramid, symbolically, you meet the mass of human society, the population. Now, if we acquiesce to the level of the pyramid that's imposing on us, like your governments, etc., then we complete a circuit. We complete a circuit between the population and the tiny few in the cult, which has allowed the agenda of the cult to impose its will on the entire population, purely by this sequence of imposition, acquiescence, imposition, acquiescence. So this is why I've gone on about that so much in this chat, because if we will break that circuit by not acquiescing to that level seeking to impose upon us, we break the circuit. And no longer are the cult at the top of the pyramid imposing their will on the population, because we have broken the connection. And we've broken it simply by ceasing to acquiesce to the level of imposition imposing on us. And if we did that, if we put down the fault lines there to divide us of race and sexuality, I don't care what you do with your dick. I don't care if you haven't got a dick. I don't care what you do with it, so long as the receiver is okay with it. I don't care.